Hello everybody, it's Aisha here. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through some vocabulary related to war and conflict. I know some of you just want to know the meaning of the words, so in the first part of the video, I will give you words and their meanings. In the second part of the video, I'll give you plenty of example sentences from daily news, headlines, and reports. It is always a good idea to learn words in context to understand better and easier to memorize and to be able to use later. Remember, these are only for educational purpose. I'm not taking on anyone's side. So let's get started with the first part of the video. War crime. War crime. Committed war crime. Committed a war crime. Tension rises. Tension rises. Airstrikes. Airstrikes. Drone strikes. Drone attacks. Missiles attacks. Missile strikes. Air defense system. Air defense system. Conflict. Conflict. Retaliation. Retaliation. Escalation. Escalation. De-escalation. De-escalation. Regime change. Regime change. Intercept the missile. Intercept the missile. Invasion. Invasion. Ceasefire. Temporary ceasefire. Temporary ceasefire. Ceasefire deal. Ceasefire deal. Diplomatic failure. Diplomatic failure. Peace talks. Peace talks. Negotiations. Negotiations. War of choice. War of choice. War of necessity. War of necessity. Battle. Battle. Battlefield. Battlefield. Army. Army. Air Force. Air Force. Artillery unit. Artillery unit. Navy. Navy. Moving on to second part of the video where I will give you plenty of examples from daily news, headlines, and reports. If military forces knowingly target civilians instead of military sites, it is considered a war crime. In this sentence, we can learn war crime. War crime. If they attack civilians, it's war crime. Killing innocent people in war isn't just wrong. It's a war crime. Human rights organizations claimed that attacking civilian infrastructure during the conflict can be a war crime. In this sentence, we can learn civilian infrastructure. Civilian infrastructure. Conflict. Conflict. They committed a war crime. They committed a war crime. In this sentence, we can learn a collocation, committed a war crime. Tension rises between United States and Iran after a series of missiles attack. In this sentence, we can learn tension rises. Tension rises. Missiles attacks. Missiles attacks. Israel used its air defense system to intercept coming missiles from Iran. Israel will use its air defense system to intercept coming missiles from Iran. In this sentence, we can learn intercept the missile. Intercept the missile. The air defense system successfully shot down several drones before they hit major cities. The air defense system successfully shot down several drones before they hit major cities. Sentence we can learn shot down. Shot down. Despite a strong air defense system, some missiles still managed to get through. Iran launched a missile attack or missile strikes on target in Israel. Iran, in this sentence, we can learn launch the missile strike, launch missile attack. Both sides are trying to avoid further escalation, but tensions remain high. Both sides are trying to avoid further escalation, but tensions remain high. In this sentence, we can learn escalation. Escalation. The violence is escalating day by day. The violence is escalating day by day. Leaders called for de-escalation between Iran and Israel. Leaders called for de-escalation between Israel and Iran. In this sentence, we can learn de-escalation. De-escalation. Diplomatic talks are focused on de-escalation to avoid a wider war. Diplomatic talks are focused on de-escalation to avoid a wider war. In this sentence, we can learn diplomatic talks. Diplomatic talks. Donald Trump suggested that the conflict could lead to a regime change in Iran. Donald Trump suggested that the conflict could lead to a regime change in Iran. In this sentence, we can learn a regime change. Regime change. But the Iranian government still holds the power. But the Iranian government still holds the power. In this sentence, we can learn hold power. Hold power. Iran and Israel agreed to a temporary ceasefire after weeks of attacks. Iran and Israel agreed to a temporary ceasefire after weeks of attacks. In this sentence, we can learn a temporary ceasefire. A temporary ceasefire. Pakistan is trying to help negotiate a ceasefire deal. Pakistan is trying to help negotiate a ceasefire deal. In this sentence, we can learn negotiate. Peace talks failed after both sides disagreed on key issues. In this sentence, we can learn peace talks. Peace talks. The international community called the situation a diplomatic failure after negotiation collapse. The international community called the situation a diplomatic failure after negotiation collapsed. In this sentence, we can learn a diplomatic failure. Diplomatic failure. Another one, negotiations collapsed. Negotiation collapsed. Some critics argue that a war with Iran could be war or choice, not necessity. In this sentence, we can learn war or choice. War or choice. Another one, war or necessity. War or necessity. Well, that's it. This is all for today. And I really hope you learned some very useful vocabularies related to war and conflict. My purpose is trying to help you understand when you watch news video or when you read news online. I just didn't give you words and meaning, but I gave you plenty of collocations in context so that when you read news headline, you can understand better and it's easier to memorize. Thank you for watching the video. I'm going to see you in my next video, and let me know what kind of content you want me to make. Let me know in the comments so that I can check them for you and make a very useful vocabulary to learn for you.